It is no secret to longtime fans of the channel that trading card games have been a big influence in my life, both on and off the channel. In this series, both DemonBattler and myself will be opening 24 packs, or one box, of each core Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster set in chronological order. After each opening, we will build decks from all of the cards we have opened thus far, then duel each other in a best-of-3 match with 3 prizes up for grabs to improve our decks. The winner will receive 2 of those prizes, and the loser will get 1. The possibilities for prizes are almost limitless, including single cards, sealed product, structure decks, and much more. Every card in the entire game's history will be obtainable in some form. However, neither of us will be able to rest on past laurels easily. The ever-changing official Forbidden and Limited list, our own choices of cards to be banished to the Shadow Realm, and even changes to the very rules of the game will keep our decks and duels fresh. This is yet another Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. Magician's Force was released October 10th, 2003. This set introduced a number of new mechanics. The first one are spell counters. They are counters that you can put on cards to fuel various powerful effects. This set also introduced the Amazoness archetype, a series of earth monsters that are all about the beatdown. This set also introduced Union monsters, a series of monsters that can equip themselves to other Union monsters. There are a lot of very powerful cards at common and uncommon in this set, so we have a lot to go over. Amazoness Fighter is a 1500 Amazoness monster that you take no battle damage involving battles with it. A Secret Barrel is a card I would like to see 3 copies of for my burn deck. This is the most powerful one-shot burn effect that we have. It is a super short print, so it is actually a little bit more difficult to get than even a rare, but it is pretty strong. It does 200 damage for each card your opponent has on the field and in their hand, so this will usually do around 1200 damage. We're going to be gunning for 3 of these. We have our first Union monsters. None of them are typically that impressive, but some of the component monsters are pretty good, like Giant Orc. It is a 2200 Goblin attack force at common, and it's a Fiend type, so that could lead to some synergies later on. A Roulette Barrel is an interesting piece of removal. Now, what this does is once per turn, you can roll 2 6-sided dice, then choose one result and destroy a monster face up on the field with a level equal to the result. A Kaiser Coliseum. This is a card that I would not be surprised if one of us bans in the future. What this does is, when you play it, it prevents your opponent from placing monsters on the field if they would have more monsters than you do. This is a very powerful lockout tool that I may end up playing in the stall deck just because I like to play just a couple of monsters at a time. Autonomous Action Unit is Premature Burial for your opponent's graveyard at the cost of 1500 life points. We may play this card. Another big common I will be chasing in this set is Wave Motion Cannon. With our lack of back row removal, this is going to put a pretty hard clock on the game, and may force a DemonBattler to include dragons in his deck to facilitate stamping destruction. So what this card does is during each of your standby phases, it doesn't technically use counters, but most players will put a counter on this card during their standby phase to indicate the number of turns that have passed. So during your standby phase, you'll put a counter on it, and then during your main phase, you can send this to the graveyard to inflict 1000 damage to your opponent for each of the counters. This does not start a chain and cannot be responded to. So if you fire the Wave Motion Cannon, your opponent does not get a window to respond. It's really weird. A Thunder of Ruler is a pseudo-threatening roar that you can only activate during your opponent's standby phase, and it just prevents the battle phase from occurring. A Rivalry of Warlords is another card that is going to see a lot of play down the line. This prevents players from controlling more than one type of monster, so if you're playing a tribal deck, you can really screw up your opponent's plans with it, and that will see play down the road as well. Then we have some more of the Amazoness monsters. Amazoness Paladin is their big beater right now. It's a 1700, effectively a minimum of 1800 because it counts itself, but it does get 100 extra attack for each of your Amazoness monsters. Old Vindictive Magician is Maneater Bug at common, so we will be able to play this in our stall decks as well. Magical Scientist. So I don't think this card is going to last too terribly long in our format. This is not good now, but this will be very strong once we get more summoning mechanics. So what Magical Scientist does is you can pay 1,000 life points to special summon one level 6 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck. It cannot attack your opponent directly and is returned to the extra deck at the end of the turn. So what makes this card so nasty is there is not a once per turn limit on this, and the monsters can still attack, they just cannot attack directly. So this can be a way to get over some large monsters, and you can go pretty crazy with this. This will most certainly be banned almost before we get the new summoning mechanics that makes this extremely powerful. You can use this to easily make synchro monsters, Xyz monsters, but hopefully one of us will ban this card before it gets to that point. A Royal Magical Library is part of some OTKs. What this does is every time either player activates a spell card, it gets a spell counter up to 3, and then you can remove 3 spell counters from it to draw a card. So if you have a way to infinitely play a spell, for instance, there was a pretty inconsistent combo deck around the time of the next set that we will discuss then, that would let you draw all of the cards in your deck and be able to easily assemble Exodia the Forbidden One. Magical Merchant is another interesting one that you'll see in a lot of control decks that focus around the graveyard. On flip, you excavate cards from the top of your deck until you excavate a spell trap, put it in your hand, and send all the other cards to the graveyard. Mass Driver is part of a Frog OTK, which we will see once we get to a 5Ds era. My Body is a Shield is a card that I'm really interested in picking up for the Equip deck, and it is something that I will very happily play in that deck. This will negate any destruction effect that would destroy any monsters on the field at the cost of 1,500 life points. At the rare slot, we have some pretty good cards as well. Dark Blade is an 1800 vanilla warrior, which has some pretty relevant typing, and we may end up, if we get enough of these, we could pivot to this. Dark Core is a banishment effect at the cost of a card, so it is a 2-for-1, but this will banish face-up monsters. Tribute Doll lets you special summon level 7 monsters from your hand at the cost of 1 tribute, and it cannot attack the same turn you play it. I don't really like this card. Amazoness Tiger is the boss monster of the Amazoness archetype. It gains 400 attack for each Amazoness monster on the field, and it prevents other Amazoness monsters from being attacked. Apprentice Magician lets you search up level 2 spellcasters when it's destroyed, so you can go get Old Vindictive Magician. Desk Koala is another card I'm going to be looking for the burn deck. It's got a sizable defense rating at 1800, and it will most likely replace Princess of Tsurugi if we do get it. Big Bang Shot is something that I'm super looking forward to for the Equip deck. Even though it makes your monster vulnerable to back row removal, we don't have a lot of back row removal right now, and being able to give Mahavilo Piercing is absolutely incredible. At the super rare slot, and just the holos in general, there's not a lot of amazing holos in this set. The XYZ pieces are all at super rare, and 2 of the fusions are as well. The other 2 fusions are at ultra rare. None of these are cards we will want to see. A Spell Shield Type 8 is an interesting negate. It can serve as a magic jammer, but you need to discard a spell, or it can be Roroku Field, in that it will allow you to negate for free for a spell card that targets a monster. A Skilled White Magician and Skilled Dark Magician are special summons for Dark Magician and Buster Blader, which we may actually consider playing these if we get them, because we have both a Dark Magician and a Buster Blader. The big super rare we're going to be looking for is Tribe Infecting Virus. I would really like to see this card, and I would really appreciate it if a demon did not get this card, because he has a Sinister Serpent, and Sinister Serpent with Tribe Infecting Virus is just free removal. This card is bonkers. This was banned for a very long time in the TCG. And if we can pick this card up, that would be really nice. Amazonas Archers is a really neat battle trap for the Amazonas archetype, but we won't play it outside of that. Now, we do have a few ultra rares that are worth talking about. Most of them are not great. Spell Canceller is a 1 tribute spell card floodgate, but it's only 1800 attack, so it's not nearly as powerful as Jinzo. A Luster Dragon is a 1900 Dragon Wind Vanilla, so that's another 1900. We will get more 1900s later. Amazonas Swordswoman reverses all battle damage that would be dealt involving battles with this card to your opponent. It's only a 1500 body, but this card is pretty strong. The Breaker the Magical Warrior is by far the best ultra rare in the set in a vacuum. It is spell trap removal. It's also a 1900 body if you need it, because it starts at 1600, gets a spell counter on a normal summon, and then you can remove a spell counter from it to pop a back row. Dark Paladin is an interesting one. We actually have the materials to make this, so if we can get some fusion cards, we may be able to make this. So what Dark Paladin is it has Buster Blader on it, and it's a 2900, so it's a massive monster to start with. It has to be fusion summoned, but that's not a big deal. We do have the capability to fusion summon, but the big thing is this is a spell card floodgate. You can discard a card to negate any spell card, and this is not once per turn either. And we have the materials to make this. And then the 2 secret rares are both extremely bad. One is Dark Magician Girl, one is Diffusion Wave Motion. These are both Dark Magician support, and we will never use them. However, Magician's Force was not the only set to come out. A Tournament Pack Season 4 came out during this time as well, on October 1st of 2003, and this is the first tournament pack that I'm very excited to open. I don't think I'm going to be opening it this time, because the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon disappears from wildcard eligibility with this set, so I'm going to be spinning for wildcards to try to get some super rares, to try to get a board wipe such as a Raigeki, but we will take what we can get. I will definitely be spinning for this in the future, just not now. The common cards are almost all cards that I'm looking for. We can get a 3rd Giant Rat. We missed Rush Recklessly completely. We missed Mystic Tomato completely as well. We can pick up Senju. Nobleman of Extermination we missed completely. Magic Drain, Gravity Bind. Hayabusa Knight is something I would like another copy of, and Mad Sword Beast we missed completely as well, which is something that I was looking for the Equip deck because it has innate piercing. The rares are nothing special. Giant Red Sea Snake is an 1800 vanilla, which could be useful in the Legendary Ocean archetype. The super rares are mostly pretty good. Morphing Jar and Megamorph are the 2 good ones. The Fiend Mega Cyber is okay. Chain Destruction, unfortunately, is not playable. And our Ultra Rare is the first really, really strong Ultra Rare out of our tournament pack. It is Royal Decree. This is Jinzo on a trap card. And with the release of Magician's Force comes a new limited list. Graceful Charity goes from 2 copies to 1. Mirage of Nightmare, Reckless Greed, and Ring of Destruction from Pharaonic Guardian go to 1 copy. Limiter Removal briefly goes from 1 copy to 3 before it goes back to 1 later. And then Backup Soldier goes from 2 copies to 3, where it will remain for the rest of time. Alright, 24 packs of Magician's Force. This is quite the low rarity set. Lots of very powerful commons and rares that we will be looking for. In the holo department, there's not actually too much we're looking for, so this is one of those sets where I'm really hoping my luck with not opening a ton of holos continues. If there is a set to avoid the secret rares, it is this one. So let's go ahead and crack open our first pack. And unfortunately, we did get one of the super rares that is not very good. It is Y Dragon Head. These do get reprinted in some Duelist packs and some other reprint sets down the line. We did get our Magical Scientist, though. Unfortunately, we do not have any good targets for Magical Scientist, as we did not open any of the fusions that are very powerful with Magical Scientist. And there there she is. Remember what I was saying about avoiding secret rares? Unfortunately, this secret rare is not very good. It would be crazy to open this in person because this would be worth $400, but unfortunately, we probably will not be playing this card without a major miracle, I will put it that way. We did get a Magical Merchant, though. That's another card that I would like to see 2 to 3 of, but Dark Magician Girl is not very good. There's our first Old Vindictive Magician, our first Giant Orc, and our first Amazoness Paladin. There are a lot of really powerful commons in this set that will reshape our duels. There's an Apprentice Magician. That can search out Old Vindictive Magician and set it. That could be pretty powerful. It can also set Magician of Faith, so we may end up playing this in these decks. I will definitely take a copy of Apprentice Magician. There's our first copy of Kaiser Colosseum. This card does not get banned for a while, but it will eventually get banned. This is a rules nightmare, so hopefully we won't have to deal with this too much, but I think this is a good choice for stall decks. And the rest of these cards really aren't too noteworthy. Cliff the Trap Remover is actually playable given our lack of back row destruction, but it is still very difficult to connect with. There's our first copy of Dark Core, which I'm not hurting for removal, but this is more removal that Demon might have access to. But we did get another Thunder Ruler. Adhesion Trap Hole is okay. I don't think we'll be playing it, but it is an option, considering that I do not have Bottomless Trap Hole. And there is an ultra rare. Unfortunately, it is an XYZ fusion. It is XY Dragon Cannon. This is something that we will almost certainly never summon. And there is another Apprentice Magician. We did get another super rare. It is another fusion. It is YZ Tank Dragon. This is something we won't be able to take advantage of either, but we will take another Apprentice Magician. Apprentice Magician does get semi-limited pretty quickly, so a third copy is not important, but I will take a second copy, and this will help out significantly for the control decks to be able to search out things like Old Vindictive Magician and Magician of Faith. Are you kidding me? Really? This is the set that you give me secret rares? Could you imagine if this was the previous set, or even the set before, having 2 Yatagarasu or 2 Dark Magician Girl and whatnot? Like, just crazy secret rares? I mean, Dark Magician does get a lot of support later on, so I could potentially play this as a meme down the road, but, yeah, 2 Dark Magician Girl. We did get a Desk Koala, though. That's one of the cards that I am looking for. We did pick up another Merchant, and we did pick up another Amazoness Paladin. So that's pretty nice. Hopefully we'll be able to fill out those Amazons, because I do have a lot of Warrior support from Legacy of Darkness that will be online if we can get enough of these Amazoness monsters together. But really, a second Dark Magician Girl? Come on! There we go. There are some cards I'm looking for. That's our first Autonomous Action Unit. That is our first My Body is a Shield as well. My Body is a Shield is a card that I'm going to be looking for 2 to 3 copies of to be able to protect things like Mahavilo from removal. Now that is also our first copy of Sonic Duck, which is a 1700 3-star. It's very interesting for being able to get underneath effects such as Gravity Bind, and in a few sets, a level limit area B. And there's a second My Body as a Shield that also fills out our playset of Old Vindictive Magician, but the big thing that I am starting to get worried about is we are 13 packs into this box, and I have not seen a single Wave Motion Cannon. Wave Motion Cannon is such a huge card just due to our lack of back row removal, and I imagine both of us may try to play it just because without a Heavy Storm or Harpy's Feather Duster, both of which we only have one of, that is quite the clock. There's an Amazoness Tiger, and we also got our first copy of Secret Barrel as well. Starting to get really worried that the burn cards that I'm looking for out of this set are not coming together. That is another Autonomous Action Unit, but I don't think that card is going to be something I would want to play more than one of. And there's one of the few good super rares in this set. That's a skilled Dark Magician. At the very least, it is a 1900 beater. And we do have a Dark Magician to be able to special summon off of this if we do choose to play it. I don't know if we'll play it for that, but we will play it as a 1900 body. That is a second copy of Secret Barrel as well. We are 17 packs into this box, and still not one Wave Motion Cannon. Really starting to get worried about this, and this is one of those cases where I would not mind getting common wildcards, just because we'll be able to snag up those Wave Motion Cannons this way. This card does not get a lot of reprints as well, and it's one you really want to see 3 of, just because multiples of these can close out a game very quickly, especially when we don't have access to good backer removal. And there's another Y Dragon Head. We're getting just the bottom of the barrel for holos in this one. We did get one good holo so far, the Skilled Dark Magician, and I believe that is also our second copy of Desk Koala. That's good for the burn deck, but we are 19 packs in, and Wave Motion Cannon is still completely MIA. Alright, so only 3 packs left to go, and we have still not seen a single Wave Motion Cannon. If we can't pick these up in the last few packs, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play this burn strategy until after we get at least 2 of them. So let's go ahead and flip them up for our last few packs. We got another Secret Barrel, so that makes our playset, but we got a second XY Dragon Cannon. We also have not seen too many of the Amazonas cards, which is kind of irritating. We did get our third Amazonas Paladin, though, so that's a good one to see. But we've been opening all the wrong holos. And then for our second to last pack, let's see what we wind up with. That's, I think, our 4th or 5th Great Phantom Thief. That card is not very good. And then for our very last pack, wow! We did not get a single Wave Motion Cannon in 24 packs. That's really bad. Just, I don't know what to say. That is just not very good. We did get playsets of some good cards going forward, such as Magical Merchant, but missing Wave Motion Cannon is a huge blow, and I think that until we can get these out of either reprint sets, which it does get reprinted in one reprint set, also at Common, but until we can pick up those Wave Motion Cannons, I think our burn deck might actually just be completely kaput. I guess I'll go ahead and head over to Dueling Book and see what I can come up with, but I am not happy with this opening whatsoever. Alright, so here's the list. This took me a while to come up with because I didn't open any of the key cards that I was looking for to play the decks I wanted. So, a summary of some of the things that occurred in this opening that are just really, really sad. We got 0 Big Bang Shot, 0 Rivalry of Warlords, 0 Wave Motion Cannon, 1 Giant Orc, 1 Amazonas Tiger, 1 My Body is a Shield. Those are a bunch of just key cards that I was looking for to be able to facilitate a deck. We did, however, get a couple of Apprentice Magicians, and we have a nice Spellcaster package to go with. So I've decided to loop the Pac-Man strategy into an Apprentice control type of deck. So I'll go down the card by card. 2 Apprentice Magician. Our targets for this are Magical Scientist, Old Vindictive Magician, and Magician of Faith. Those are good enough that I think this is worth playing, if anything, just to get us access to our Spell Trap recursion, which is where we're going to get a ton of our value. 1 Cyber Jar, 2 Desk Koala. This is a very good turn 1 set because our opponent will likely attack into it, may not be able to clear it without a pretty good hand, and then wind up taking a lot of damage. 2 Deslakuta. I'm still keeping the Pure Advantage Camel in here, just not at 3 copies. The 2 copies are also the reason why we're playing more than 40 cards, because deck out is an issue if you are playing this card. 1 copy of Magical Scientist, primarily as a tutor target for Apprentice Magician, in addition to enabling some extra deck stuff that we have. We don't have a ton of really strong stuff to pull with this, but we do have a couple of pretty juicy targets. This also enables us to summon our Reaper on the Nightmare using Metamorphosis by summoning out a Flame Swordsman with it, and then using Metamorphosis on the Flame Swordsman to go into our Reaper on the Nightmare, which is a big problem to deal with. 2 copies of Magician of Faith, 2 Mask of Darkness, 2 Morphing Jar number 2, 3 Old Vindictive Magician. Both of us having access to Maneater Bug is going to change our format quite a bit. That's the reason why I still haven't moved the Shallow Graves out of the side deck and into the main, just because if a demon is on Old Vindictive Magician, which, let's face it, he probably will be, he's been on Maneater Bug this whole time, that can really cause the Shallow Grave to backfire. 1 copy of Princess of Tsurugi. I cut this down to 1 specifically because more of our burn effects are going to be on spell traps now, so that we can have more room to be able to use our floodgates and not run out of back row space. 1 Sandgen, 3 Spirit Reaper, and 1 Witch of the Black Forest round out our monsters. For the spells, 1 Book of Moon, 2 Burning Land. So I took this out for Dark Snake Syndrome before. I like Dark Snake Syndrome, but one of the issues that I have is that Demon has been on a Legendary Ocean specifically to allow his monsters such as 7-colored fish to attack under a Gravity Bind. So this is incidental damage, which is what we're primarily playing it for, but this can also blow up a field spell and make our Gravity Bind live again. 1 Confiscation. I'm putting this back in the main because our entire burn strategy does not revolve around Burning Land plus Dark Snake Syndrome, so I don't mind paying life points, and just the hand knowledge is incredible. 1 Dark Snake Syndrome. 1 is really all we need because this card can get out of hand and you don't want to draw multiples of it. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster is our lone backer removal. 2 copies of Metamorphosis. We now have Magical Scientist as another target for Metamorphosis to go into Thousand Eyes Restrict, which is not quite as good as you would think in this deck, specifically because we don't have too many ways to easily out it, but it is another attack floodgate, and I think it is worth playing. 1 copy of Pot of Greed, 1 Scapegoat, 2 Vengeful Bog Spirit round out the spells. For the traps, we have Gravity Bind at 2, Just Desserts at 1, 2 Raigeki Break, 1 Ring of Destruction, triple Secret Barrel. This is the strongest burn card that we have access to, and we can easily recur this with 2 Mask of Darkness to do lots of damage to our opponent, and 1 Solemn Judgment rounding out the main deck. For the side deck, we have 2 copies of Fisher, triple Mask of the Accursed. We moved all of the masks to the side deck, specifically to increase our monster count, but if we find that the increased monster count does not work, we can tag out 2 of the Old Vindictive Magicians and 1 other card to bring the masks in for more removal. I do want to leave 1 Old Vindictive Magician in as an Apprentice Magician target, however. 2 Prohibition, this will mostly name Heavy Storm, either Heavy Storm or Raigeki, one of the 2, but this is a very important card once we know what he is playing. 1 copy of Remove Trap, 1 copy of Soul Release, 2 copies of the Shallow Grave, 1 Mask of Restrict for the rituals, 7 Tools of the Bandit, and 2 Trap Dust Shoot, which we'll bring in if we know we are going first. The only change we've made to the extra deck is that Reaper on the Nightmare is now a viable target for our Magical Scientist and our Metamorphosis if we do get it out. I'm not too terribly confident in this deck because we didn't open the wave motion cannons that I was looking for, but I think this might have a chance, and even if we don't get there, we may be able to snag some cards that will fix our problem. It is time to duel. So I think that this is the first set that has so much power at low rarity. It's nuts how many good commons there are in this set.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is one of those sets where you almost don't even want to see hollows for the most part. Now, granted, there are still a couple of really good ones, but like this is definitely one where you don't feel too bad if you whiff.
There are powerful rares too, but most of the power in this set, honestly, is a common.
Oh, definitely.
Got there.
Ah.
Yeah.
Finally got one.
Yep, I'll take the play. Good luck, duelist.
Good luck.
Alright, draw for turn. Stand by, main. I'm just gonna set a monster and pass.
Draw. Standby, main. I think I'm gonna go ahead and follow suit. So I think I'll add a. I think I'll add a back row too.
Alright, draw for turn, stand by, main. I will set another monster and pass.
Riveting. All right, standby, main.
I mean, it's Magician's
Ooh.
Force. This is to be expected.
Yeah, fair enough. I think I'll start by activating a wave motion cannon.
Not surprising.
Then, how far do I want to push? Yeah, what the hell? Let's go for it. And exile the force.
You got it. What you gonna pop?
I will pitch it and pop this one.
Oh, you got a good one.
Ooh, morphing jar. Nice. So let's see what else you got. I'm gonna fire off Monster Reborn, targeting my exile force.
Okay, gonna pop this one too?
And then I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that one.
Sure, it's a Sandkin. I'm gonna grab, what do I want to grab here? I'm going to get a Koala.
I had a feeling. Yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna you were gonna make use of that.
It's a good
All
card.
right, so I'm gonna flip summon Witch, and let's go ahead and hit for 11.
Sure. Draw for turn, stand by, main. Boy, that is a scary, scary card. I'll fire it.
Unsurprising.
Go.
All right. Draw. Standby, main. That's one turn on the
It is.
cannon. I think I'm going to set a monster and pass.
All right, draw for turn, stand by, main. I'll go ahead and flip up this desk wall, and you can take 800. Then I'll set another monster. Go ahead.
All right. Draw. Standby. Another turn.
Those
and
cannons
main.
are good.
I think I'm going to run out my Amazoness Paladin.
On the Amazons, okay.
I'm going to flip up my old Vindictive Magician and pop your face down monster.
It was another desk koala.
All right. And battle phase, I'm going to go ahead and crash
Yep.
our monsters.
Yep.
Which means I get to search. Let's see. What do I want to go for? I think I'm going to search for the merch.
Yeah, merch is good. Merch will merch.
And I will pass the turn.
Draw for turn, stand by, main. I gotta think about this one. Is that even an option with the cannon there? Why is wave motion cannon so good? Okay, I don't like this too much, but I think I have to go this route. I am going to bring out Magical Scientist.
Oh,
Summon good.
Summon is good.
With priority, I'm going to activate Scientist.
Okay.
Now, the one caveat is I can't actually attack with the thing that I summon because
of your bog.
Because of bog.
Yeah.
But I do have something cool I can do. I'm going to special summon my Flame Swordsman. Then I'm going to activate Metamorphosis, tributing the Flame Swordsman.
Oh, not bad. Not bad.
I'm going to summon my Reaper on the Nightmare.
Whoa, wait a minute. So you pulled one. Oh, I see. So you're creating a wall. That's actually not a bad idea.
And then I will pass the turn.
Draw. Standby. Main.
I like the utility that it has right now, but really once we get more extra deck mechanics, it just becomes too strong.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, here's the Succeeds monster.
Go ahead and set a monster. Can be anything. Battle. I'm going to go ahead and ram into your scientist with my 1800.
Yep. That's the thing that I didn't want to do.
Main phase 2, I will go ahead and switch to defense, and I will set a card.
Alright, draw for turn, stand by, main. Can't deal with the cannon. I just can't deal with the cannon, is the problem. I think this is my best bet. Go! I really want to start attacking with this thing, but you have a wave motion cannon is the problem.
I guess I might as well. Let's flip.
Yep, merch gonna merch.
Oh, that kind of hurt. Okay, that doesn't act. I guess I'll just pass.
Yep.
If you don't have a way to deal with or get your life points up, then I win.
By
So,
my anime protagonist powers, I will Harpy's Feather Duster to the top of my deck. Nope. Okay. So the problem with game number 1 is other than the Vengeful Bog Spirit, I drew pretty much all monsters. Alright, draw for turn.
so let's see what you got now.
Standby main. I'm going to set a monster, and then I'm going to set 2 back row, and I'll activate Bog Spirit. Go ahead. During your draw phase,
Alright,
I'm
so
going
I
to
draw.
Secret Barrel for 12.
Ooh. Alright. Makes this even funnier. So, let's see. Well, I guess I will set a card. I will activate Wave Motion Cannon.
You got it.
And I will set one and pass.
Alright, draw for turn. Standby main. I'm going to flip summon my Mask of Darkness.
Ew. Okay.
I'm going to pick up my Secret Barrel. Then I'm going to set another monster and another back row. Could be anything.
Could be anything.
And I will pass my turn.
I think during the end phase, I'm going to Raigeki break. I will pitch my body as a shield, and let's go after the back row.
Yep. That's a good play.
Draw.
Charge your laser.
Room. Okay, so let's see what we can actually do. The Bog Spirit actually kind of messes things up a bit here. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and run out a Dark Blade.
Yep. That's a good card.
And I will pass the turn.
Draw for turn, standby main. First thing I'm going to do is put Mask in defense. Then I will set a monster, and I will pass my turn.
Draw. Standby. So that's turn 2. Main 1. Well, I guess I might as well flip my Magician of Faith now.
Yep.
So I will go ahead and get Pot.
Yep.
Pot of Greed. And I will fire off Pot of Greed.
You got it.
Ooh. One into the other. I like...
Seems okay. Clearly it was my mistake taking Scapegoat, but Scapegoat's also sick, like stupid good.
Oh yeah, Scapegoat has a lot of good uses. I think I will pitch 7-colored fish, and I kind of feel like I'll pitch my Cyberjar. I don't necessarily like that, but then I'm going to summon out my Scorpion.
Still on 8-Claws Scorpion, I see.
And then I'm going to activate Raigeki.
That's really good.
And so...
Well, let's get this out of
one
here
I can actually
first.
attack with, so... Oh, alright, fine. I will set a card, and I will pass.
Draw for turn, standby, main. Cool, I drew Pot of Greed, finally.
Oh, nice.
Not too happy with what I got, though. Boo. I'm gonna set a back row and pass.
Draw. Standby, main.
3 counters. Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and switch my Magician to defense, and then I will run out a Witch of the Black Forest.
You got it.
Battle. I'll poke for 3.
300 in.
And your turn.
Draw for turn, standby, main. I think that Wave Motion Cannon's getting a little too big for comfort.
Oh, that's depressing, because not to get my Wave Motion,
Oh,
you actually got my Meteor Rain.
Meteor Rain? Interesting. That's actually really
Yeah.
good synergy with the 8-Claws Scorpion. I like that.
Oh yeah, it tells Pac-Man to eat shit. Pretty good, too.
It does, yeah.
I was kind of hoping to not show that off just yet, but...
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like not in a vacuum, but with the 8-Claws Scorpion specifically, turning that into a 2400 piercer is so good.
So let's go ahead. I'll attack into...
It's the Cyber Jar. That's not bad. Another Meteor Rain, huh? So you have a Paladin and a Dark Blade, Spell Shield type 8. Okay. I got some nice cards, too. You got 2 dorks that can't attack.
Unfortunately. Now, since it turns out we actually were misunderstanding Cyberchar, you can pick them up and shuffle them around if you want. It turns out that's actually a thing. We just never knew about that.
Sure.
Alright. Main phase 2. Well, I feel kind of content just setting a few cards because I know you don't have Moth face down, and you've already spent your Feather Duster, so...
Yep. Draw for turn, standby, main. I'm going to go ahead and fire Burning Land. Then I am going to set... Sure, let's fill up the whole back row. I'm going to set a couple. Not afraid of Heavy Storm whatsoever. Please take 500
Standby,
damage.
I will take 500. Main 1. Alright. A Amazoness Paladin.
Sure.
Also, it just occurred to me, I never got my Witch Search, but...
You should just resolve that now. Because that is something you have to do. Yeah, figured.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Witch's Effect is mandatory.
Alright. We're gonna go ahead and fire off the Meteor Rain now.
Yep.
Let's go 19 into...
That was the thinking on attack declaration. That is fine. That was the Apprentice Magician. I will take 1100.
Actually, you're gonna take 800 more, because damage step on Rush Recklessly.
Oh, just 7 more? Okay, got it.
Yeah, 700.
Sure. I'll take 7 more.
And then Dark Blade will go ahead and ram into the Moth.
Nah, I can't let you attack that.
Fine. Main 2, I'll set a card, and I will pass. Does put you in a bit of a predicament, though, because even if you flip Moth, you can't actually play it. You can't play the spell.
I'm aware. I want to see what I draw first. Draw for turn. Standby, main. Oh, standby, I take 5.
Don't forget your 500.
Yep. Main. Anyway.
I was gonna say, I'm not the only one that has to play Hotfoot.
So here's what we'll do. I'm going to flip up my Magician of Faith. I'm going to get the Feather Duster back. Then I am going to Raigeki Break, discard this old Vindictive Magician to target your Paladin.
Alright, that resolves.
Then I'm going to Feather Duster.
And in response, I'm going to activate Spell Shield type 8.
You got it.
That's my Monster Reborn to negate that.
I'm perfectly okay with that. That is perfectly fine. Because that means my follow-up play gets through, and you're not going to like it too much.
Oh? Wait. Oh, no.
That is the reason why I am playing this deck.
Oh, crap.
Let's go ahead and... I'm going to just suck up your Dark Blade.
Alright. Ooh, this is a problem.
So now Heavy Storm doesn't answer this board. Go!
Draw.
Now I do need to say this for the record. I chose this over Monster Reborn when I had the chance.
That's just nuts. Like, I mean, granted, I don't blame you at all. This is a hell of a card. This was banned years for a reason.
Oh yeah. This card is nuts.
Well, I guess I will just set a monster in defense and pass the turn, because there ain't much I can do right now.
Draw for turn. Standby. I'll take my damage.
Take your 5.
Main. I'll just pass.
Alright. Draw. Standby. I will take 500. Main. Oh, thank God. That is probably the one card I needed the most. I'm going to run out Exiled Force.
Oh, that definitely outs the restrict. Yep. That outs the restrict.
Question is there anything else I can really do? Well, I guess I might as well kind of help a little here. I'm going to flip Old Vindictive and pop your back monster.
Got it.
And then I guess that's all I can do this turn.
Yep. Draw for turn, stand by, I'll take 5. Main. Set a monster and pass.
Stand by, I will take 5.
This is what the deck is supposed to be doing when it actually gets attack floodgates.
Ooh, wait a minute. I think I might have something, but I'm gonna need to perfect. Alright, so after a quick rules consultation, I'm going to start by activating Meteor Rain.
Yep, that's
Any
pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm going to activate Heavy Storm.
I misplayed so bad. I misplayed so badly. And this doesn't even help me now.
Any response?
This doesn't even help me. Yep. I'm not even going to activate it.
That you not activating it might have actually saved you. Because, buddy,
Oh, you have Tyrant?
I'm tributing my 2 monsters
Oh, you have
for
a
the
Blue
legendary
Eyes.
Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yeah, remember from the video game promos?
Yep.
So yeah, you're kind of lucky you didn't activate Scapegoat, because that would have actually lost you the game.
I go to 200. Alright, draw.
If that would have been an old Vindictive, that would have been so fucking punishing. But it was worth it.
Draw for turn, stand
It would have been worth it anyway.
Well, considering that there were already 2 in my graveyard, alright. I gotta think about this
that's
one.
true.
I gotta think about this one. I'm going to set 2, and then I'm going to prohibit Wave Motion Cannon. Actually, you know what? You've used Heavy Storm. I'm just going to set my whole hand. Go. Boy, if I can stabilize this, it'll be something else.
Don't know what... I think my computer's just not handling it all right now, which is kind of odd, but... Alright, I'm going to run a 7-colored fish. I
do have
Blue Eyes for...
I do have another.
Of course you do.
There is a very good reason this card gets limited eventually. Anyway, draw for turn, stand by, main. I'm just gonna pass.
Alright. Guess I'll pass.
Draw for turn, stand by, main. Pass!
Oh my god.
Yep, control deck doing control deck things.
Oh no, and I could deck out too.
You could.
Oh no, I could deck. That's not good.
Go!
Ah, god damn it.
Yep.
That would be good
Set
otherwise,
one.
but...
Go!
Kidding me! I pulled them back to back.
Alright, draw for turn, stand by, main. Pass.
Stand by main. Right. I can set a card and pass.
I am going to, at the end of your turn, I will activate Secret Barrel for 1600.
Oh, God.
Draw for turn.
Now we're scary. Now it's scary.
Stand by, main. I have a feeling that might be a Magician of Faith you have set, so I'm actually going to go ahead and flip the jar.
Alright, fine.
Hey, that'll work.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Alright, let's see.
Get that out of here. Get that
Damn
out of
it.
there. You have 2 spell
Damn it.
slots. Wow.
Yeah.
A-Claw Scorpion isn't bad.
Okay, so that's 1.
That's 2.
2.
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you want those merchants.
Unfortunately, I don't exactly get a choice.
Yep, they all get set. Then I'm going to, since I haven't summoned yet, I'm going to set another monster, and then I'll set a back row, and that will do.
Draw. Stand by main. Do I even have anything? Where the... Oh, man. Okay. Flip. Old Vindictive, pop your face down. What I'm assuming is the Magician of Fate.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I'm going to flip this. Let's hit your monster.
I am going to activate Raigeki Break here. I'll discard this dead burning land, and I'm going to kill your 8-Claw Scorpion.
Okay. Main 2, I'll pass. There's nothing else I can do at this point.
Draw for turn, standby, main. I'm going to set another monster, and I will pass my turn. It's hard to say without
Alright.
knowing what's in your deck list, but I feel like I've stabilized.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Set a card. Pass.
Alright, draw for turn, standby, main. I'm going to set one more monster and pass.
Draw. Standby main. Alright, well, I have one more. Let's see what.
You do have another Magician of Faith.
And I'm just gonna skip all pretenses. I'm gonna pull back my red gap.
Yeah, that'll get there. That'll get there. Good match, dude. I thought I had it.
Dude, that was so goddamn close. That was so close. Like, I couldn't remember worth the life of me if I had another magician in here still or not.
I was thinking about prohibiting Raigeki for that exact reason. I just didn't want to do it. So I was digging for a secret barrel. I was digging for my third secret barrel. Where was it? There it was. So this was a Princess of Tsurugi, which you played around really nicely, because if at any point you had set another back row, I was going to kill you. I figured you were playing around it. Both of these were jars. But,
yeah, that would have messed me up right there.
At that point, I was almost just on the mill plan. So my Magician's Force opening was god-awful. Absolutely god-awful.
Yeah, mine wasn't exactly, like, amazing
No,
either.
I can guarantee you it's better than mine. So there were two cards that I wanted to open more than anything in this set, and it was just horrible. I wanted to open more than anything else, Wave Motion Cannon, My Body as a Shield, and Big Bang Shot.
And let me guess, you didn't pull any of them, did you?
I got one My Body as a Shield. That's it.
Ouch.
Yeah.
See, I hit 3 My Body, and I hit 3 Wave Motion. I didn't end up hitting any Big Bang, which kind of made me sad. But, like, honestly, like, yeah, the commons and rares I got kind of decent. The only hollows I hit were the 2 Spell Shield, a Wide Dragon Head, which I'm never touching, and then I actually pulled a Dark Magician Girl.
Oh, you too?
Which, yeah.
I got
which,
two.
Funny enough, I actually threw it in my side specifically because I know that you have Dark Magician. I know you told me you have Buster Blader. So I was like, you know what? If he actually runs the Dark Magician bullshit, I at least can have that in the side to kind of have something to work with.
I opened 2 Dark Magician Girls.
God damn. The Secret Luck just seems to love us, doesn't it?
In the sets where it doesn't matter. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Prohibition is such a hard card to play. When I had the second Prohibition in my hand for a while, I was just trying to think of what to name. I was also thinking about naming, Magician of Faith, because that would be a card that would get me in trouble. Because I believe at the time I had used both of mine. Yeah, I had used both of mine at the time, so I was thinking about...
See, the funny thing is with that first... Honestly, if you had done that, that definitely would have won it, at least that game, because I had no other outs to it at all.
Wow, good stuff.
Good stuff.
So I can't really say too much more about that duel. That second loss, that was my own fault. I was mostly trying to figure out what I was going to name with the Prohibition, and I just couldn't think of anything that would be helpful. It was, do I want to name Magician of Faith? Do I want to name Raigeki? Do I want to name Heavy Storm? In retrospect, I think I had to prohibit Magician of Faith specifically. But in any case, let's go ahead and... take our consolation prize. I'm actually spinning for sealed product because we have both Tournament Pack 4 and Magician's Force on the wheel. So I'd be happy with either one of those. As much as I would like to have a Raigeki or a Dark Hole, I think I'm actually going to take the sealed product because there are a lot of commons that I want out of this set. So hopefully we can get some booster packs of Magician's Force, but I will take either one. And it looks like we are going to get 6 more packs of Magician's Force. So we will go ahead and crack those open. Alright, so 6 more packs of Magician's Force. Hopefully we can get some nice stuff out of this set. There's a couple good hollows, but I'm mostly looking at the commons. I would like some Wave Motion Cannons. I would like some My Body as a Shield. Big Bang Shot would be good too, but let's go ahead and crack them open. We got a Big Bang Shot. That's one of the things we were looking for. Super happy to see that Big Bang Shot. I think all the rest of these commons, we have playsets of, at least the ones that are relevant, but Big Bang Shot, that's one of the cards that I was looking for. Nothing too special in this pack, unfortunately. We have all our RMLs, we have our playset of Paladin. I think even the rare we have a playset of already. Like, it's not that good to begin with, but we did get that. So let's go ahead and move on to our third pack. We got a Giant Orc. We got a Rivalry, too. Rivalry is another common that we completely missed. That's one of those that I'd like to see two of. Giant Orc is nice, too. These are pretty good cards. Sonic Duck is a 1700 3-star, which could wind up being good when we get to Ancient Sanctuary. There's a deck that revolves around level 3 normal monsters, which we might end up playing. Another Amazonas Fighter. I think that's the only real good card in this pack. Oh, that's actually a nice pickup. That's a third Apprentice Magician. We could definitely put that to use in our current deck. Apprentice Magician will get semi-limited eventually, but I am pretty happy to see that as well. There is a Union deck out there eventually, so Frontline base will be good for that. So overall, I'm pretty happy with these packs so far, and we have one more pack to go. Can we get that Wave Motion Cannon? No, we did not get a Wave Motion Cannon. We did get another Dark Core, which is a second copy of that. We did get a Big Bang Shot. That's good. And we got a couple of other nice cards as well. We did not get another My Body as a Shield. Wow. What a just terrible, terrible set this has been for me. This is supposed to be a set with all kinds of really good commons, and we just didn't get them. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression Series. Join us next time when we open Dark Crisis. That is another set with some pretty high impact commons. Until then, see you around.